Welcome back to The Explainer, everyone. Today, we're diving into a reality that honestly impacts absolutely every single one of us. In our digital age, it doesn't take a massive physical army to bring a nation to its knees anymore. A single line of malicious code pushed from a laptop literally halfway across the planet has the power to shut down power grids, expose top-secret government intel, and wipe out billions of dollars. We're talking about the most dangerous hacker groups ever.
Because wars, they aren't just fought with guns and missiles anymore. That is the core reality we're living in right now. Cybersecurity isn't just an IT headache stuck in a corporate basement. It is absolutely crucial. We're talking a critical pillar of national defense, economic stability, and your own personal safety. Cyberspace is the new battlefield, and today, we're tracking down the apex predators of this space.
Okay, let's jump right in. Here's our roadmap for today. We're going to escalate things step by step. First up, rebels and hacktivists. Then we move to extortion and cybercrime gangs. From there, nations at cyber war, followed by the elite cyber arsenals. And finally, we'll look at the future of cyber threats. Basically, we're going from digital nuisances all the way up to all-out global warfare.
Now, not all hackers are after the exact same thing, right? Some are driven entirely by ideology, think groups like Anonymous or the Chaos Computer Club. For others, it's all about the money, which is the driving force behind cybercrime syndicates like REvil and DarkSide. And then you've got political and espionage motives powering massive state-level actors like Fancy Bear and the Equation Group. Understanding these vastly different goals is kind of the master key to figuring out how they actually operate.
All right, let's start with Tier 1, rebels and hacktivists. These are the groups driven by ideology, protests, and digital disruption.
Take Anonymous, for example. They are your traditional top-down organization. They're this sprawling, decentralized collective. They've famously taken down government websites during political protests, targeted extremist groups, and leaked massive troves of corporate data. They really proved that a loosely connected online community could pull off globally disruptive campaigns. But then, contrast them with the Chaos Computer Club. They're ideological too, sure, but they operate as ethical hackers. Their whole mission is exposing security flaws, fighting for digital rights, and advocating for your privacy. It just goes to show that hacking can actually be a tool to protect civil liberties, not just cause chaos.
And then, right within this same tier, you've got groups that just want to watch the world burn, or at least seriously annoy everyone. Take Lizard Squad. Back in the mid-2010s, they became infamous for launching massive DDoS attacks. They intentionally targeted and took down major gaming networks right in the middle of the holiday season, paralyzing services for millions of people trying to play their new games. Lizard Squad proved a really terrifying point. Relatively cheap, unsophisticated attacks could still cause absolute worldwide frustration. Moving right along to our second tier, extortion and cybercrime gangs. We are officially elevating the threat level from ideological annoyance to multi-million-dollar corporate hostage situations.
Let's look at how this stuff scales into a literal corporate structure. REvil, also known as Sodanokobi, took ransomware and turned it into a terrifyingly organized franchise. It's like a wicked business model. Step 1, hack a company's network. Step 2, steal their sensitive data. Step 3, encrypt everything so the company is totally paralyzed. And Step 4, demand millions in cryptocurrency to unlock it. The crazy part? They didn't just do this themselves. They offered ransomware as a service. They had affiliates, profit sharing, even customer support. They treated crippling food suppliers, hospitals, and government contractors like a highly optimized Fortune 500 business.
And this perfectly illustrates what happens when digital crimes bleed into the physical world. A group called DarkSide hacked the Colonial Pipeline, which is one of the largest fuel pipelines in America. Because of this digital ransomware attack, physical fuel shortages spread across several states. Consumers panicked. There were massive lines at gas pumps everywhere. The company eventually paid millions in ransom to get back online. This wasn't just code on a screen anymore. This was real, visceral economic disruption hitting everyday people.
Okay, now we're stepping into the geopolitical shadow. Section 3, Nations at Cyber War. This is where the line between traditional espionage and active political influence completely blurs.
Let's talk about Fancy Bear, often tracked in the cybersecurity world as APT-28. Western intelligence agencies widely believe this group operates with direct ties to Russian military intelligence. And their operations are heavy-hitting, to say the least. Cyber espionage against foreign governments, election-related hacking campaigns, phishing political figures, and striking at defense organizations. Looking at the data impartially, it's crystal clear that cyber warfare is now a primary tool in international politics. State-sponsored actors use it to exert massive influence without ever firing a single bullet.
Then there's the Lazarus Group, which multiple governments have linked to North Korea. When you look at their timeline, it just shows this escalating boldness. Back in 2014, they pulled off the devastating hack on Sony Pictures. By the mid-2010s, they pivoted hard into massive cryptocurrency thefts and fraudulent bank transfers. Fast forward to 2017, and they were linked to the WannaCry ransomware outbreak that paralyzed computer systems all over the globe. They blended espionage, sabotage, and sheer financial crime in a way the world had never really seen before.
The crucial takeaway here is just staggering. Billions. We are talking billions of dollars estimated to have been stolen or disrupted by Lazarus operations. Think about that. A single state-linked hacker group siphoning billions out of the global economy just to fund their own operations.
Now, if Lazarus is all about the money, a group called Sandworm is all about pure, indiscriminate destruction. They're tied to some of the most destructive cyber operations ever recorded. They literally took down the Ukrainian power grid. But their most terrifying achievement? The NotPetya malware outbreak. What started as an attack targeting Ukraine quickly spread like wildfire globally. It paralyzed massive international shipping companies, shut down manufacturers, and crippled hospitals everywhere, causing billions in collateral damage. Sandworm proved that in cyberspace, a targeted weapon can instantly turn into a global catastrophe.
Which brings us to the absolute highest tier of technical sophistication. Section 4, the elite cyber arsenals. This is where state-level actors deploy code that operates like actual military-grade weaponry.
Security researchers often point to the Equation Group as one of the most technically advanced cyber organizations ever discovered. These guys weren't just dropping basic malware. They were infecting the actual firmware of hard drives, which allowed them to conduct totally undetected, long-term global surveillance. Security experts were genuinely terrified of the Equation Group because their intelligence gathering tools seemed to be literally years ahead of any publicly known cyber techniques. This was the absolute pinnacle of stealth and power. But here's the frightening question. What happens when those elite, military-grade weapons fall into the wild? Enter the shadow brokers. This group just suddenly appeared, but instead of just hacking systems themselves, they stole and leaked highly advanced cyber tools, exploits widely believed to have come from top-tier intelligence agencies. The global fallout was catastrophic. By dumping these military-grade tools onto the public internet, they essentially handed weapons of mass digital destruction to everyday criminals. That leak directly fueled massive global disasters like WannaCry. It completely changed the cybersecurity landscape overnight. Which leads us to our final section, the future of cyber threats. As our societies become increasingly digitized, understanding what comes next is literally essential for our survival. Look, today, we aren't just trying to protect our emails or credit card numbers. Our modern targets are totally physical. We're talking power grids, hospitals, public transportation systems, vital financial networks, government databases, and incredibly sensitive AI systems. Our physical world is now completely intertwined with the digital one. And because it's all connected, it's all vulnerable. And the tools these hacker groups use, they're evolving fast. Experts are sounding the alarm that future attacks won't just be humans typing on keyboards. We're looking at AI-powered malware, code that can actually learn, adapt, and evade defenses in real time. When you combine that kind of exponential threat multiplier with coordinated strikes on the critical infrastructure we just talked about, the potential damage goes through the roof. From Anonymous to Lazarus, from REvil to the shadow brokers, these groups have already left a permanent mark on our history. But this battlefield is only expanding. So I want to leave you with this. As our world becomes fully, irreversibly digital, are we actually ready for the next evolution of cyber warfare? Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and as always, keep learning.